Well, hey there. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jordan and I am a aesthetic brand designer. And on this channel, we like to talk all things aesthetics. We take behind the scenes looks at client projects, and I also try to share some tips and tricks along the way to show you how I make my design process more fun. But today, I kind of wanted to take a different route with this video. As I'm acclimating to the YouTube platform, I am learning a lot. I'm learning about scripting, I'm learning about having a persona on camera, enunciating words very clearly, as well as another couple of things, writing effective titles, researching keywords. But the most notable thing that I think I really need to improve on is YouTube thumbnails. So I have been publishing videos for a couple of months now. I think it's been 2 or 3 months since my first initial video, and learned a lot, and I can understand why my views are so low. The thumbnail, it's not very clickable. I'm not using very legible font, and there's a lack of what everybody calls the curiosity gap. So I really want to improve those. I think the content and the quality of the videos themselves are definitely worth the little extra leg up. So today I'm going to take you with me and show you how I read from a before to after, improving typography, improving the colors, the composition, and see if maybe this will boost the clickability of my YouTube series. Hopefully that will help my videos reach a wider audience and improve views and retention. We'll redo all of the thumbnails today, and then maybe 30 days from now, we'll have a recap and see if the designs were effective or if maybe we could still improve on them even further. The reason I want to do a video of this nature, for anyone else that's new to YouTube and is just trying to learn as they go, let's go on the journey together. I'll show you how I overcome this challenge, and who knows, maybe it can help you with your channel too. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. We're ready. All right, so before we start redesigning my current thumbnails, I thought it would be a good idea to kind of look at inspiration of what other content creators are doing for their thumbnails and see if we can't implement some of their design strategies for my channel. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to look at content creators that I really resonate with. I'm going to draw inspiration from them, at least kind of see how they condense the body of their video into a single thumbnail slide, and see if there are variations, if there's similarities, if one content creator leans more minimalistic as opposed to another, and kind of gauge where I might benefit for my specific channel needs. First on my list is Rachel Maxey, who is a huge inspiration of mine. I really love how her thumbnails have a bespoke, handmade look to them. They're very warm, and I love her before and afters and the way that she frames her thumbnails as well. Definitely very, very strong on the curiosity gap. Tasting History with Max Miller is also a really fun channel. He incorporates historical references into all of his content as he recreates recipes from history. So I can see here that he does a really good job of mixing historical pictures with actual food, doing side-by-side comparisons, and overall it's just a very clean and unified thumbnail strategy. And then we have Thoughtful Money with Adam Taggart, where his channel is all about finances. And what I like about his channel is he really uses headshots, bright colors, and simplified titles that kind of serve as hooks to get you to click and listen to the video. So I see here that, yeah, it is too very unified, and the color is what really stands out to me. I really like it. And lastly, I have Dan Coe, who is probably the god of content creation right now. And his style is very iconic as it is all black and white. I see here that he always has a hook statement. And to me, it just seems very techie, very genius CEO, content creator-esque aesthetic. What I really appreciate about this is how he uses the hooks, and it looks like he's not beholden to the same style. It looks like oh my god, look at that crazy hair. Yeah, this is giving me very mad scientist video programmer vibes, but yeah, definitely worth referencing. So the big takeaway for me for my YouTube thumbnails is I need to become more clever with how I position my hooks. I think that using bright, punchy colors is very much on brand for me. And instead of treating my Make It Aesthetic series as like a traditional packaged television series, I really need to let each video stand alone and let what it's really about be the forefront thing that I feature on the thumbnail, and then incorporate the make it aesthetic, episodic background within the video itself. I think this will engage more people. It will increase the curiosity gap, so I can do some really clever things by showing before and after graphics. I can also do like a sneak peek of the design process, but like blur it or pixelate it in the thumbnail. I'm always intrigued by that myself. With regards to typography, I think I'll steer clear of handwritten or super scripty fonts, and I'll go with something very simple and clean, kind of like what Dan Coe and Adam Taggart do for their channels. And again, just run an experiment just to see if this helps me stand out as a small channel and improve retention. But anyway, I think I'll start there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my original thumbnail, show you what I started with, and then show you the process of actually taking what I've learned from these content creators and designing a brand new series of thumbnails. So I'm really excited for this process, and here we go. Let's do this. Here's my first YouTube video thumbnail, and you can already tell that we've got a lot of work to do. I'm going to recreate a new thumbnail underneath the old one. So I have a fresh picture of my living room that I've color treated, and then I also have a headshot that I'm going to use. So I'm going to copy and paste my background image into the new thumbnail tile, and then I'm going to come back down and copy and paste my headshot like so, and you'll see that it's still bringing the white. So let's remove the white from this image. I basically use the background remover tool in Canva, and then I'm going to reposition myself center frame. Okay, and then I'm going to add a halo effect. So instead of a shadow, I'm going to change it to white, and see how it makes me pop out from my background? And it tricks the eye, so immediately it goes to me, and then the background environment's like a second impression. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to copy the font from my original thumbnail and paste, and we got to get rid of this color because it blends too much. There we go. Then we're going to move the type behind me so I still stand out. And then I'm going to grab my secondary hook here. And it still works in the same position, but I think I want to change the font so that it matches the bolder font. It's a little bit easier to read. So here's the before and after. So much better, right? Okay, I'm going to use that same font that I did for the last thumbnail, which is League Spartan. It's a very clean, very bold font. And for this, instead of just white, I'm going to experiment with red and then give it a very strong neon look, so it also has that kind of haze. I'm going to enlarge this graphic. And I don't like how they're leading your eye out of the frame. I think I'm going to adjust that. There we go. Much better. Her arm directs the eye naturally to the text. Before. After. Oh my gosh, so much better. Cleaner, simple, straight to the point. I love it. This thumbnail is from one of my more recent videos, and although it has that curiosity gap element to it with the before and after, when I squint my eyes, the yellow vastly overpowers the type, and my main hook is actually way too small. So let's fix that. So let's add a pre-made halofied headshot. I'm going to use the same font as the other thumbnails for consistency. And I'm going to highlight and add the shadow effect. I've copied over the yoga mat from the original, and I'm going to add a little bit of that luminescent yellow. I think it's a wonderful complement to the purple, and it helps the elements jump out from the background, like so. And then I'm going to add that pixelated mood board as my curiosity gap element, as well as the arrow to show the progression of the project. Here's the before, which wasn't horrible, but it could just use a little more push and pull. And the new final result. This next thumbnail is for my Alice in Wonderland inspired bar yoga template bundle. And I would say that the most glaring issue here is that there's no sign of Alice on this thumbnail. A viewer is more likely to recognize her face than the tiny font that I have here. So let's fix it. I'm going to add a pastel green to my background picture. And then I'm going to add my headshot and make it as big as possible. We really want my face to take up a lot of real estate here. Let's add that halo effect again so that I really pop out from the background. And I still have room to make myself bigger. There we go. Add the font and keep it simple. And just like the content creators we looked at earlier, I also am going to add illustrations. Here's the before, and here's the after. So much better! This is from the most recent video I've published, and you can see I'm trying to put more thought into the thumbnail, but even still, the type is not working, the color isn't working, and I think we could do a better job of this. So let's see if we can make this even stronger. I'm going to start with this warm sienna, and I'm going to add the blue from the card deck that I'm holding. That will help repeat the colors and make it more visually appealing. Then I'm going to copy my headshot, and I've enlarged it to where I'm nearly touching both sides of the composition. And then instead of that halo effect, I'm just going to use this sunburst, I guess is what you would call it. Okay, it's looking good so far. Now I'm going to copy my Curiosity Gap graphic, in which I've enlarged the picture of the tarot card reader. There we go, and that takes up a substantial spot of real estate. And then the last thing that I want to add is that same font that I've used in all the previous thumbnails. And we're going to see if the legibility is going to be better. I'm going to add a drop shadow. Here's the before. And here's the after. So much brighter. I like this one more. Here's a recap of what we started with. And here is how it looks now. I think it looks so much better. I think the colors are going to help my thumbnails pop out more. It looks really good on my homepage on YouTube. And I'm also going to do some A/B testing. So I've got 3 different variations of some of my video thumbnails just to see what performs better over the others. And lastly, let's see how it looks on the TV. Nice, so much better. Okay. Yeah, the colors were definitely a smart choice. Here's the playlist view, and see how the thumbnail floods the background of the TV. So something else to definitely keep in mind as I move forward designing my thumbnails. Yeah, they're so much better. I'm grateful that YouTube lets you change your thumbnails. You can't adjust your videos, unfortunately, but you can update the thumbnails, which is extremely helpful. What do you think? Much better, right? I think so too. Now that I'm paying closer attention to what I'm attracted to on YouTube and why I click the certain videos that I click, it's all starting to make sense. I mean, at the end of the day, it all boils down to basic human psychology, right? Content is a piece of persuasive writing. It is opinion. It is framing of a particular topic for discussion. So it makes sense that the book cover would be just as important as the content that's inside. I'm really excited to see how my channel does the next 30 days. I've learned that your expectations as a brand new YouTuber, you got to keep them very low. I think the statistic is that it takes anywhere from 1.5 to 22 months to gain enough subscribers and watch time hours to become monetized. But I really want to build this YouTube channel because I think it's a wonderful extension of my business. It will help me find my audience, and it can help others that are looking for high-end aesthetic branding templates. They'll be able to find me on my Etsy shop. So if you haven't already, be sure to check it out. All the design work that I feature in my videos, for the most part, are available for purchase on Etsy. And if you've never worked with pre-designed templates before, oh my gosh, it's going to change your life. It's changed mine. But anyways, if you like the content of today's video, please consider liking and subscribing for future uploads. And I guess I will see you in my next video. Bye!